Dude, do you know you're recording right now?
Hey, welcome to the show. Subscribe, rate, review. Tell a friend. Victor Pacheco's in the house.
Hey, what's
Keith,
up, brother?
Keith Reza just woke up, ready to rock and roll.
That's why Keith is the best host interview on the planet because he already has questions written 2 weeks ago. So that's and it's great though because we're interviewing a really funny comedian, hilarious comedian. I'm actually really nervous. I'm more nervous than sometimes we get like actors and stuff. I'm really
Oh,
nervous.
oh, don't tell me that.
No, it's a good thing. It's like if I tell you I'm really confident about it, that means I'm gonna do really bad.
Yeah. Don't tell me you're really nervous because that's the first thing I'm going to tell our guest today. For the
Please don't.
folks, it's going to be you've seen her in Charlie Wilson's War. I'm Dying Up Here. Comics Unleashed, the great Cathy Ladman. She'll be here via Zoom. And here's what I'm going to say. Cathy, my name's Keith Reza. Good to meet you. Thanks for doing the podcast. This is my trusty sidekick, the Nightwing to my Batman, Victor Pacheco. And you know what Victor Pacheco told me before you came to the Zoom? He's really nervous because, holy Lord, it's Cathy Ladman.
Please don't tell her that. I mean, do your thing,
Okay.
baby. Do your
I
thing,
won't,
baby.
I
I
won't
mean, I
tell
mean, I'm
her
just
that.
gonna just. What am I gonna do? Deny it?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell her that, but if she does listen to the opening remarks, she'll know. How cool is it that Jack McBee sent you an autograph, man?
Dude, I'm stoked about that. And Craig Burko sending us that book. That was the fastest book I've ever gotten in my life,
I
ever.
didn't I didn't get the book yet.
He liked me better than you. I'm.
I know, clearly.
Oh man, he gave me a pseudonym and everything. Lloyd. He even wrote in the note, Lloyd. Great talking to you.
Did he really?
He wrote Lloyd, and like I thought it was just like just like a receipt, like a gift receipt, which it
Yeah.
was, but it was like I had a message too, and I was like, it started off with Lloyd. I started laughing hysterically because my mom's like, "What did you order from Amazon?" I was like, "I didn't order anything, clearly."
I it's also one of those things where like you like in the moment you know you're going like, oh, okay, someone says it, okay, cool, but then like you forget that they say they're going to send it, you know what I mean? And then
Absolutely,
when you get it you're like, oh my God, you know what I mean?
it felt good. It felt
Uh,
really good because I was like, I didn't order anything from Amazon. It has my name on it. I'm like, holy shit! I hope this isn't a bomb.
yeah. So for the folks at home, subscribe, rate, review. We're on the Patreon now. And Victor, you're gonna like this. You want to know the tiers of the Patreon since we have some time to mess around?
Yeah.
Because they come in three tiers, okay? So if you can go to patreon.com/RazorRiff61 because Razor Riffs was taken.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, that's someone fucking with you, man. Sorry. Oh
And
man, I told myself be clean because it's Kathy, but this is a
yeah,
pre-show.
yeah.
Not being
And
disrespectful.
then Razor Riffs 2 was taken. So like all of them were taken except to 61, which
Can you message these people?
yeah, I was like, listen, I know Razor Riffs 58's no longer around. You know what I mean? Like that's what I said. But anyways, here's the tier program, okay? Tier 1 for $5 means you're an actual rifter. Now what that means is you give me $5, right? And you support the program. And we say thank you at the end of the show. Like, so, for example, if Victor, you were a rifter, you supported $5 at the end of the show, I would say, Victor, thank you for the $5. You get it? You're tier 1, you're a rifter. Tier 2, Victor Pacheco, is $10, right? Now, when you support $10 on the patreon.com/razorriff61, uh, you get
61? Are you kidding me? Wasn't it 58 last time? I'm trying to believe this isn't a real thing. I'm trying
yeah.
to
Let,
Wait,
let me
that's
finish. Let me finish the tiers for you.
sorry.
So if you're a second tier, you're what I like to call a rifter. So if you're a rifter, you get all the benefits of being a regular rifter. Like at the end of the show, I say, thank you. You're a rifter, Victor Pacheco. And you get a free cameo from me. And I usually charge $20. So it's like you're paying half of the cameo. Plus, I'm thanking you. Right? So I could roast you. Oh, I just got an Amber Alert. So I could roast you.
Right?
Right?
Oh my God, you said that so casually, like, no, no big. You're my alibi right here. We're on Zoom, baby. We're on Zoom, baby. Like, oh
Okay,
my
so
God.
let me finish this series, right?
For the record, you interrupted yourself. All right.
Thank you. So you're a Rifter's Rifter, right? You get a cameo and a thank you. Now, for $25, Victor, you could be a tier 3, right? At patreon.com/razorriff61. For $25, you could be what I like to call a Rifter's Rifter. Now,
Keith does not smoke weed, people. I need to put this out there. Keith does not smoke weed, and if he does, he never smokes weed around me ever.
so
Ever. Oh God,
Victor, do you want to hear the perks about being a Rifter's Rifter?
I would love nothing more than that.
Okay. So when you're a Rifter's Rifter, right? You get the perks of being a Rifter and the perks of being a Rifter. But if you're a Rifters, we also release the live video, right? So you could see me making the guests very uncomfortable, right?
Wait, is that why you don't want to release the video? These are great.
One second.
Sorry.
Don't interrupt the tier.
Sorry.
So then, and instead of the new releases coming out on Monday, if you're a Rifters, you get it on Friday. Yes, Friday, right? So you could listen to Reza Riffs before date night. And you could become a Rifter, Victor, at www.patreon.com/razorriff61. Hold your applause.
Jesus Christ. I just wanted that dead air. I don't want to interrupt you. I just wanted to make sure it was there, just like not getting ahead of myself. But yeah, dude, I think that's great. And for the record, regardless, I mean, I hope you get thousands of Rifters. Are they going to say, did you want a Victor?
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to do that. I'm like, dude, geez, I was like, that's where my brain went right now. That's so good.
So the new producer of the show, she's like, you gotta get on Patreon and you really gotta plug that so we could get you some money for the program. And I said, I don't know how to do that. And then she gave me these tier ideas. And I mean, let's be honest, the first 2 tiers kind of suck. So it's really about being a Rifter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, people just need to subscribe. Those are good videos. They're funny.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it's like it's you really need to have the visual. Or sometimes me and Keith will laugh hysterically, and just watching us laugh is really funny. And I'm like, this really needs this.
Like, how would you like to see Mark Norman call me fatty?
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God. And the best part is it didn't even pick it up on the audio. I don't want to ruin anything, but
But you could watch it if you're a Rifter, Victor.
I know, but he looked at the screen, and like what he's like, yeah. So yeah, shoot your shot, fatty, or he said something like that. And I laughed so hard that he just looked at his screen. You could just tell he was looking right. And like it's through the computer, and I could feel his eyes like beaming through me. Like, dude, it wasn't that funny. I'm like, yes, it is. I'm like 100 pounds heavier than Keith. So for you to call him fatty is calling me fatty, except you think I might actually beat your ass, which that would never beat up Mark. I mean, not because he's a good guy, but because who he is. I'm just kidding. I think he's funny. He was good to us, dude. He was really good to us.
Yeah.
He was totally cool.
Yeah. So I'm writing my questions for Cathy Ladman right now. You have any questions that I could write down?
I always have questions. I don't know if I'm right now that we're recording, but yeah.
Oh yeah, don't tell them while you're recording, but just like
Yeah, dude.
Just tell me. I got you. I got your questions, Razor
Yeah, I got
Blade.
yeah, I got your questions, Razor Blade, Mr. Keith the Rooney Rockcamp, dude. We're yeah, man. I got
Whoa!
yeah.
She was in Pros and Cons.
Keith, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a movie with Tommy Davidson and Larry Miller. It actually wasn't very good, but Larry Miller's in it.
Oh my God. Yeah, dude, wasn't she in Curb Your Enthusiasm?
And so, yeah. So if you're a rifter, I don't edit that out.
Oh my God, man. Jokes so funny you have to censor them. Anyway,
Ah, all right. Well, guys, we will be right back with the great Cathy Ladman. Subscribe, rate, review, and become a rifter at www.patreon.com/61. Or let's rewind. www.patreon.com/razorriffs.61 dash six.
no dot or dash. You already
No,
did the
there's no dot or dash. Okay,
okay.
so
Wait,
if you
let me
want,
do it. Let me
okay,
do it. Okay.
Victor wants to do it.
www.patreon.com/RazorRiff61. Boom! One shot Willie over here. Please don't call me one shot free Willie.
Those are the sounds of claps and not me doing dirty stuff. All right, enjoy the show.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.
I did. Hey, Rifters, welcome to the show. Cathy Ladman's coming in. I actually did. I just didn't say the M word because that's disrespectful. And I wanted to, I just wanted to make you laugh.
Oh yeah, no, that was very, very, very funny.
Oh. Hey, Cathy. Oh, is that her? Or is that a picture?
That's a photo.
Oh, okay.
That or a camera froze.
Or her camera froze. Excellent.
Hey, hold on. Sorry.
Oh, hi, Cathy.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. This is Victor Pacheco, the trusty sidekick.
Hi, Victor.
Hey, Cathy.
Nice to meet you.
Great to meet you.
So a trusty sidekick, because all talk shows have one, and they're usually there if like you bomb. The talk show host, like Letterman, just says, "All right, laugh," But hey, your picture before you came into the Zoom, I swear to God, like I'm not just like trying to like give you flowers and stuff, but I really thought that was you in person. So I was like, "Hey, Cathy, how you doing?" And
Oh,
like,
really? Like, you mean like this?
yeah, I thought that was you, and I was like, "Oh,"
But I was so unresponsive.
yeah, and I was like waving. I was like, "Oh, maybe she forgot to pay her Zoom bill or something." I don't know. But yeah, thank you so much for doing this with us. It really appreciates it. How are you?
Sure, absolutely.
Oh man. So I became a fan of yours because I saw you on the Tonight Show recently, and I didn't realize, because when you do comedy and paths just don't cross as much,
Mm-hmm.
so my path has never crossed with you. And then I Googled you, and you're like the biggest veteran of them all. So like I'm a huge fan. So
I'm a veteran. I know I'm a veteran. Yes.
Yeah. So like, but that's just like how maybe, because I've been doing stand-up for 20 years. So that just shows you
Wow, you've been doing it for 20 years?
yeah. So that just shows you how stupid I am. You know what I mean?
No, it's okay. How old were you when you started?
My first set was when I was 16.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I would say I didn't get good until I was 32. So I've only been good for like 5 years, 6 years.
It takes a long time, and you keep changing too.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 15, I looked like a child, so I had all these
Well, you were a child.
Yeah, but I had all these child jokes like, "Hey, I'm a child."
Right.
And they don't work so well now.
No.
So I was gonna ask you how do you change that, because like it's like, oh,
Well, I talk a lot about being older now
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're beautiful old. You know
Oh,
what I
you're
mean?
very kind. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Victor's a little shy because he agreed with me when I said Kathy's beautiful old, and he's like, yeah.
I would just say beautiful in general, like all across all categories. Okay,
Oh, you're so sweet.
that's what I
Thank
would have
you.
said. Keith
I
has
needed this.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
Keith has Asperger's, so he's not really great with all the social cues. I'm like, Keith, that's very not gentlemanlike right now. And it's so messed up because it's like, you're like, yes, I'm a veteran. I'm like, wow, it has such a different connotation with male comedians than it does with female comedians. It's like, no, I was just like, you're really experienced and I've seen all of your work like for years. And okay, not all of it. I haven't seen your one woman show, but
Right.
I think you're really great and funny. And I'm just in awe of being here. So
Thank you. Now, are you also a comedian, Victor?
yeah, we have a mutual friend, Lisa G, Lisa.
Lisa Godolda. Yes. Are you guys up north?
Yes.
Uh, I
Oh no,
I'm
no,
not.
he's from
Yeah.
SoCal.
I'm in
Oh, okay.
Los Angeles, but we do have a mutual friend. Unfortunately, our mutual friend's no longer with us. But
Oh,
oh yeah, the great Bob Saget.
oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So I opened up for Saget like the last 4 months of his life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's so surreal that he's not here.
Yeah. Because
It's
I
so surreal.
so I met Saget through Norm because I toured with Norm for 9 years. And then when
Oh,
Norm
wow.
yeah. So then when Norm died, Saget kind of took me in. And
I love Norm.
yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you don't want me to open up for you.
Oh my God, that's dark and funny.
Thank you. But but hey, I wanted to ask you about don't tell my mom the babysitter's dead. Or don't tell
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's like a very, very funny movie.
Yeah,
And
it's almost like a cult classic.
yeah, aren't cult classics like cool?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. So what
I,
was
I
that?
had no idea when I was doing it that was the case.
Yeah. So when you did it, did you think, hey, in 20 years, everyone's gonna love this movie? Like how did you like
No idea. I remember I just had that one scene in the movie at the Clown Dog, the
yeah,
restaurant where they worked. And it's so funny because now that location where we shot, it was a restaurant, it was like a burger place, and now it's a FedEx. Um, it was
nice.
it's so weird to see the city changing. But I shot there that afternoon, and then I had to get on a plane to London that night to go do a show the next night.
Yeah,
So I was just trying to get through the day,
yeah.
basically. I had no idea what the movie would be. And then I remember going to the wrap party, and Christina Applegate was like hanging out with me the whole night. She was like young, and I think she just felt like hanging out with somebody like a mom in a
Yeah.
way.
That's so cool.
Yeah, she's so talented.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What a talented woman.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you when you do movies, uh like do you like film your scenes and then like so say like for hypothetically, right? Say you're doing a big movie, a cult classic in Vancouver, right?
Mhm.
And you film your scenes. And then after you film your scene, you're like, what am I going to do in Vancouver? I know I'm going to do the Vancouver Comedy Club. Like, do you do that or is it too much work for you when you do that?
Um, you know, probably I'm tired at the end of shooting something. I mean, it's been a while, and
Yeah.
it depends on where the location is. The last movie I shot was in upstate New York at a summer camp.
Hmm.
So there was nothing around, and I was exhausted, and I just went back and, went to sleep.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, they're long days on movies,
Yeah.
really long days, like, 10 to 12-hour days.
Yeah. And it must be like if you were to do stand up after you film, it must be really hard to do stand up at a summer camp.
It is very hard to do it at a summer camp,
Yeah.
especially when it's September and no one's there.
Uh, they're all in school.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you ever go to summer camp when you were
Oh,
a child?
yeah.
How-
Wait, did I ever go to summer camp? What was
when
the
you
rest?
when you were like growing up and stuff?
Oh, yeah, for years. I
Oh,
loved it.
yeah. I've
Oh,
never been. How was your
well, where did
experience?
you grow up?
I grew up in the main streets of Huntington Beach, California.
Oh, okay. Well, I grew up obviously in New York, and on the East Coast, it's like different in different parts of the country. We went away to camp for 2 months.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow.
I know, and in a lot of other places people that I've met through life, they went away to camp for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But our parents got got rid of us for the entire summer,
Yeah.
and it was great.
So was it great for you or great for the parents? Do you ever think about
I
that?
think it was great for both of us, for
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I loved being in Connecticut, in the woods,
Yeah.
sleeping in a bunk, and it was a great time in my life. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was absolutely the best time of my life. Yes. And that's where when I went to camp, I was in the camp play, and that's when I decided that I was going to go into show business.
Yeah, see, I know because like with Asperger's, I don't see social cues, but I could read minds. And I know you were
Wow.
thinking when I asked you,
Talented.
I know you were thinking when I was asking you about camp, like, why is this guy asking me the stupidest question in the world? But it was to bring you in to show business, right?
Wow,
Yeah,
you're clairvoyant.
I know. I take Psychic 101 at the university at Smartness.
Wow, that's a good name for the school. Um,
That is actually a great name
a
for a
great
school.
name for a school. I mean, it's good advertising. Um, so yeah, so I was in Once Upon a Mattress. I don't know if you're familiar with the show, but it was originally on Broadway with Carol Burnett years ago in the 1950s or 60s probably. And it's a great comedic musical, and I just had an unbelievable time, and I had never realized before what it was that I wanted to do, and it completely gelled for me. I mean, I knew from that moment on, this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, I think I figured out I wanted to do a stand up because I was very nonverbal growing up, and
Mhm.
I just wanted to talk. So
Right.
like, I think stand up like really saved my life.
That's so great. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a young age to start also.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible age to start because you have no life experience.
Well, but that's true. But everybody's got stories, no
Yeah.
matter how old you are. Everybody's got stories. I didn't start until I was close to 26 years old because I was too scared.
Yeah. That's
So
a good
kudos.
age to start though, because
Yeah,
you probably went through I don't know if you're married or divorced or
I
whatever.
am almost divorced now, but I was
Uh
married for a while. Yeah.
yeah, so you probably most people are usually on their first divorce by 26. And they have like kids and stuff, So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but at 26, I didn't get married till I was 41.
yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't have that to draw on, but I had plenty of other stuff to draw on.
Yeah. I
And I
read
started in New York, which was a great place to start.
Oh, New York, yeah, that's the best. I like New York because like it's kind of like you could do a set one place and then you could literally walk 2 minutes, do a set the other place. You could maybe
Yes.
get 10, 12 sets in a night.
Well, I mean, it wasn't quite like that when I started. You couldn't really walk to another place. I mean,
Oh,
actually, yes, you could walk from Catch a Rising Star to the comic strip.
right.
Those were the closest clubs, but more often than not, people were taking cabs from one place to another. And generally speaking, you could do about the most you could do in a night, if you really wanted to pack in sets, was about five
Yeah.
in a night. But now that the Comedy Cellar has so many rooms in the Village, you can do a lot of sets in New York
Yeah.
on a night. Yeah. And it's
What what's your record on sets that you've done in a day? Like, do you
oh
remember?
God, probably five.
Five.
Probably five, yeah.
Now I have a weird question. Have you ever done all five and then they all bombed and you're like, I gotta do six?
Hmm. I don't think so. That would be terrible. Oh my,
Yeah.
I know. It's like you have to do another set to erase the bomb. I know.
Yeah. I was on a bomb streak for a while, Kathy. And
That happens to everybody.
oh yeah, but it was in the same night. And I was
Oh
just like,
God.
and you know what's weird is I was doing the exact same material. So I came to the conclusion that material just was not funny.
And were you right?
No, of course not. But yeah. But hey, speaking of Saget, you did Saget's Benjamin movie, and
Yes.
I wanted to ask about that because Bob told me that he that was one of those movies where he only had like 9 days to film it, and
Yes.
that's pretty fast for
Very fast.
yeah. So
Yeah.
what was it like being directed by him?
Oh, it was great. I mean, it was so much fun, and he was just so warm and kind and very clear with what he wanted, and I mean, I can't say enough good things about Bob.
Yeah.
And also I got to work with um Rob Corddry, which was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, he's really funny.
Oops, got to turn this off.
Uh,
Sorry, my phone was on.
did you
Um,
butt dial Rob?
no,
I thought
no, no,
that's
no. My phone
oh.
was my phone was not silenced, and I got an alert, so I had forgotten to silence my phone. Now, I have a daughter who's almost 21, so I used to always silence my phone, and someone said to me, "How can you do that if you have kids?" And then I realized, you're right. So now
Yeah,
I don't turn my phone off at all
yeah.
because I
My
never know when she needs me.
That's true. But that's actually a good answer. Someone asked my mom that exact same question once, and she said, "Oh, that's exactly why I silence my phone."
Well, I should silence my phone. Like if I'm meditating, I should silence my phone.
Yeah.
But when I go to sleep now, I don't silence it because, I mean, what if it's an emergency? I mean, there's no, once you're in, you're in. There's no that you worry like for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Does being a stand-up like for you, does it like screw with your sleep patterns because if like that?
Well, I sleep really, as I've gotten older, I would say probably at least the past 6 years, my sleep's been horrible,
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
really bad. But you're not even old.
Oh, I'm pretty old, Kathy.
No, you're not. You're in your 40s, right? No, you're in your 30s. You're in your 30s. You're 37.
I'm turning the great 37, yes. So
When's your birthday?
July 4th
Oh, wow.
is the worst birthday in the world.
And why do you say that?
Because there's this thing called Independence Day. And
Yes, I know. I'm
oh,
aware of it.
okay. Some people don't know. Okay.
Yes,
So,
I'm aware.
well, for the listeners who are listening in Hungary or Turkey or whatever, Independence Day is where all these dudes signed a piece of paper and gave us freedom. And so our whole country celebrates that day. And like my entire family forgets that's my birthday. They're like, yeah,
Oh.
free beer, stuff like that.
Well, I have to say that I think a worse birthday than July 4th would be Christmas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I heard Christmas is a bad birthday.
Actually, my friend Jim Brogan used to do a joke about that did Jesus get those combination Christmas and birthday gifts?
That's great. I love Jim. He does the oh crap. Victor, what's that club in North Hollywood right by the Haha?
Oh, the comedy, the Chateau,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does
Yes.
that one all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean it's all right, I guess, but I don't really like it. Yeah, like
I'm whispering.
yeah. But I
I'm
mean,
not a fan.
yeah. I mean it's a good stage just to do like a set, but like I would never want to like I don't know, be the house headliner there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Um, Flappers is a good club, and Jim does that. Jim does Flappers a lot too.
yeah, Flappers is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite club, I like the intimate club. So there used to be a club in Huntington Beach called the Rec Room.
Oh,
It just closed down, but
oh,
it only fit like 140 people. I shot my special there actually, and it was
oh,
very
wow.
yeah. So that's what I like because I rather make 140 people either hate me or love me instead of
Mm-hmm.
like 500 or 600.
Right. I like intimate rooms also. So, by the way, another Orange County legacy. Have you seen Steve Martin's documentary?
The one that just came out, or is
It's called a documentary in two pieces, I think.
no. I
It's
read
a
his
two-part.
book though. Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, yeah, Born Standing Up. It's a great
Yeah.
book.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, it's a terrific documentary.
does he talk about how he started at Knott's Berry Farm?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, yeah. A lot of people don't know that. Like Victor didn't know that. Victor, Steve Martin's
That's it.
first comedy show was
Was
at
it
Knott's
Knott's
Berry
Berry
Farm.
Farm or Disneyland?
He did them both, but he worked
Okay.
at Knott's Berry Farm.
Okay. Yeah, he talks all about that. It's a very interesting documentary, and it's entertaining too.
Uh, he, I hear he's a very, very shy guy.
He is.
Yeah. You've met him?
Yeah, in fact, the last time I did the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, I was on with Steve Martin.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
You want to hear a Steve Martin story that kind of involves me but doesn't involve me?
Yes. That's
Okay.
exactly the kind I wanted to hear.
Okay, so you know how like when you do weekends there's 5 shows,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it was a Saturday night show, the late show, and for some reason I was just really sick. Like I was just tired or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
I was in San Diego with Norm.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Norm, I'm gonna go back to the hotel. He's like, are you sure there's a special guest in the audience? And I was like, yeah, I don't feel good. He's like, he's gonna hang out with us in the green room and we're gonna go party. I was like, yeah, I don't feel good because I thought maybe it would be like Sandler or something who I've met, and you know what I mean, like
Right.
one of Norm's buddies.
Right.
So I go to the room, and then Norm calls me at like 3 a.m. He's like, "Hey, I just got done playing video games with Steve Martin," and he's like bragging in my face. And then he's like, "I just got a card that says I met Steve Martin." So so then on Sunday he's like showing me this card. He's like, "You could have got a card too if you weren't sick."
It's a very good norm that you do.
Yeah. So I didn't meet Steve Martin, but I guess he saw me either kill it or bomb, and I just left.
Oh,
So
all right. Well, but see, either way, your life's pretty much the same, I think.
thank you.
It
I wanted to ask
wasn't, it
you.
wasn't crucial.
No,
You didn't,
no. I got
you
it.
didn't make a mistake.
Yeah, I got it. I wanted to ask you about Comics Unleashed because
Mhm.
I feel like that's a show that it says it's unleashed, but I feel it's a very
Very leashed.
yeah,
Very leashed. Comics on a tether.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what was that experience like?
Well, not my favorite.
Yeah,
You basically you get fed a very kind of stilted setup, and then you have to go into your material. And it wasn't like I like talking. I like having conversations. And this was very kind of automatic and routine, and it was tame. It was tame and it was predictable.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like a show like that would be better maybe as a podcast and not a show? You know what I mean?
Um, maybe, I mean, maybe so, because I mean, there's no, there was no danger, you know,
Yeah.
there was no surprise.
Yeah.
It was all very rote. Uh, and I don't know, I'm not a fan of the format.
Yeah. I get that. There's a lot of danger, Kathy, in podcasting too, that people
Hmm?
don't know. And it's very sad. Like the biggest danger is I have a fear that you're just gonna leave before the show's over.
Oh God, no, I would never do that. I might do this, but I would never do that.
Ah! Victor, do you have a couple of questions for Kathy? I know you were very excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to know, well, I have a couple questions, but the atmosphere of comedy, like how things have changed, because like in the 90s, like I feel like and everyone was doing like a Monica Lewinsky blowjob joke and like it was kind of cool or whatever,
Mhm.
or the hip thing to do. But then like I know for sure the climate of the country changed after 9/11, and then during the whole cancel culture, Me Too, the culture's changed a lot. So I was wondering how that has affected your comedy, or if it
Well,
if it had an effect.
first of all, it's kind of, I mean, I can look at it objectively and see how comedy has changed, and certainly the climate of the country has changed. I mean, when I started comedy, it was a great time. It was like it was a wave that was increasing, you know,
Yeah.
it was burgeoning. Clubs were opening all over the place. And it was very exciting. You saw a lot of talented people, and I could learn a lot, but just by watching and doing. And there was a lot of stage time to be had back then. I mean, in New York anyway. Um, but it's almost a little bit hard to separate how I've changed, because as I've grown and you know, gone through life, I'm a different person now than I was. I mean, I look at my first Tonight Show, which was in 1989, and it's like, I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just not that person anymore. And also, I work clean, first of all. I've always worked clean. That's just what I do. And it was intentional initially because I wanted to get on television. And back then there was only network television, there was no cable.
Yeah.
So I had to be clean. But I just don't like working dirty. It's just, to me, it's kind of easy.
Yeah.
Um, and I kind of like something that's more clever and takes a little thought and effort. Um, but also, I don't talk about political things. I talk about my my trajectory in life
Hmm.
and what I experience. So that's really what dictates what I talk about.
Yeah. Being clean, I feel, is like the best type of comedy too. And this is why I don't do drugs, because I like to be clean.
Okay, is that a joke?
No, no, I'm just saying
Okay.
these are the dangers of podcasting, Kathy. But
Uh,
no,
but
I
you know, I teach a class now, and I really encourage people to work clean. Of course, I can't tell them what to do. It's their choice.
yeah,
But when you hear people working blue, especially when they're starting out, it's such a crutch. And it's just, you know, it's not challenging. It
yeah.
doesn't challenge the comic, and it doesn't challenge the audience.
So when you say you teach a class, are you teaching like stand-ups who want to be more successful, or like open micers, or
That's actually, I coach also, and that's actually more of my favorite thing to do.
oh, okay.
Coaching people who want to work on their material, work on various elements of their stage life. And to me, that's more interesting. It's because that's really like talking shop, and I have fun doing that. What's a little less interesting for me is teaching beginners,
Right.
because you really don't know who who's serious about it, and who and they really, you can't talk shop with them.
Yeah.
because what we're discussing is so rudimentary, it's so beginner stage, that, and nobody, they don't know who they are on stage because they're beginners.
Yeah.
And, generally speaking, like you were saying, that it took you a long time to get good on stage.
Did I say good? I meant okay.
Well, whatever you said,
I
you
feel
don't have to be that humble.
I feel the word uh I feel stand-up comedy is one of those things where no matter how good you are, you could still climb to get better.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I think it's like, it's like life. You don't want to stop growing in your life.
Yeah.
And stand up, I think, is an extension of your personal growth. The way
Yeah.
you express yourself is going to change as you grow as an individual.
Yeah. It's kind of like, how, everyone says like Seinfeld or Chappelle are the best of the best. Where like me as a comic, and maybe this is just something because how Norm trained me, I just look at them and I think they're good, but they could always be better. So that's how I
Everybody can be
look at
better.
it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, I think that maybe they do this one thing well, but there's another area where where they can grow.
Yeah. So that's how I look at comedy, and it's so hypocritical because whenever I saw Norm work, no one was as good as him, and I saw him bomb so much, but he was so great at it. You know
Oh,
what I
he
mean?
was wonderful at it.
Yeah, he
He
was
was
the
wonderful
best.
at it.
Yeah, like
So
once
unique.
one time it was a sold out theater, and it was like 700 people, right? And he was bombing so hard everybody in the audience was leaving and he didn't get off on stage until the final person left. So
Wow.
so when the show ended, he goes up, he's like, "Hey, look at that. Everyone gave me a standing ovation."
Where was this?
It was I want to say it was the Anaheim Grove,
Okay.
right by the Angel Stadium. I don't know if it's called
Right.
the Grove, but
Oh,
yeah, but it
okay.
was in Anaheim. Do you know that theater I'm talking about?
I don't know it. No.
It used to be called the Grove, but I don't think it's called the Grove anymore.
Okay. I'm
So
not very Orange County savvy.
yeah, but yeah, it wasn't a great like it because it wasn't. I like comedy clubs better, and I think theaters are just kind of.
See, now I like theaters.
Oh, do you?
I
Yeah.
do.
So do you have any advice on how to like do a theater successful? Because I feel like the laughs come in so many different directions that it's not really a wave.
Well, it depends. I mean, but it depends on the theater.
Okay.
There are so many different types of buildings, I mean, a great theater is, to me, the best thing you can play.
Yeah.
Everyone's facing forward. No one is distracted by drinking and eating. Nobody's dropping checks,
Yeah.
and no one's distracted by that. The expectation is also different. I think that when people go into a theater, there's just it's a different type of an evening.
Yeah.
No one's heckling in a theater. I like that everybody really wants to be there to be entertained, and no one's there to challenge the comedian
Yeah.
and compete with the comedian.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait till your next theater gig so I can open up for you and try that experience.
It's actually at the end of May.
Oh, hell yeah! Excellent. Ah, man. All right, and then one of my last questions I wanted to ask you about
Yes.
One Night Stand, because One Night Stand was like the Netflix back in the day.
Right.
So like how cool was that? Because like Comedy Central wasn't around and it was
Right.
like if you had a one night stand comic on, that was like the credit. So
Yeah.
yeah, so how was that like getting that?
That was pretty exciting. In fact, I remember how I found out that I got it. I was on a night at the Improv had a Santa Monica room, and they were looking at people, and I did my set, and and then I went about my life. And a few days later, I was at a mall, and I was in a Victoria's Secret, I think, and I ran into, I think I did
Whoa,
that.
there's a bubble.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say,
I ran
Cat,
into,
there's a ghost
I know
there.
it's weird that sometimes it picks up on you doing that. And I don't know how, I can't even make myself do it now.
Oh my gosh, that was
Not
so cool.
working. Oh,
Oh
there
my
I did
god,
it.
holy
Okay.
Lord.
So I was in a Victoria's Secret, and there was one of the HBO executives, and she said, we would really like you to do a one night stand for us this year. Like, completely, I mean, I was shopping. And
Yeah.
that's how I found out. It was so cool. And so I called my manager right away, and I told her what happened. So I mean, like, it wasn't an official offer, but I mean, she wouldn't have told me that if it wasn't the case. And sure enough, of course, it was. And that was exciting.
Oh,
Really
I
exciting.
I have one more question about the one night
Yes.
stand, but like I got distracted with the
I
bubbles.
know, I know.
So
Okay.
I tried to do it and the bubbles aren't coming.
Do one finger at a time. Like, it doesn't do it every time.
I guess my Zoom's not haunted.
All
Uh,
right. Anyway, what's your other question?
so the one night stand, like was that like a one shot film or did you do like multiple sets that
We did two.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah.
so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, the year I did it, Taylor Negron did it.
Oh, I loved Taylor. He was
Me
so
too.
nice.
Bill Hicks did it.
Yeah. Oh man.
All these
It,
people who are gone. It's so
I,
sad. They were
I
great.
I feel like the nice ones leave first. You know what I mean? Like Taylor was
Yeah,
such a sweetheart.
I know. I know.
And unfortunately I never met Bill Hicks, but
Oh, he was so sweet and so brilliant.
yeah, on that show Marvelous Miss Marvel.
Oh, Miss Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He seems very sweet on that show.
Bill Hicks?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's called acting. It was a bad joke. Yeah.
Oh.
Ah, bummer. Hey, I wanted to ask you since you were in a cult movie. So I was watching this documentary called How to Start a Cult, you know?
Hmm.
And this has nothing to do with comedy,
Okay. It's all right.
but like isn't it like odd that the first thing you need to do to start a cult is to have followers?
Is it odd? It's not really.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty important to have followers to
Yeah.
start. You have to have fun. You can't have a cult by yourself.
Yeah, but it's kind of like comedy where like you need followers to sell tickets, right? So
Right.
you're in a cult. And then
Right.
the next thing is this one's actually kind of funny because to be a cult and a cult leader, you need a good message. And
Right.
I don't know about you, Kathy, but I don't think hey, let's kill people is a good message.
I don't know. Some people are pretty fond of this.
Yeah, so that's why like stand-up comedy is like, hey, you need a good message. Like I talk about, making my guests awkward and having autism and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's my message, right?
Uh-huh.
Victor's message is dogs because he has a dog in the background.
I know. I love dogs so much.
Victor, explained your dog.
Thanks. Mine's a small one, and my fat butt is covering up this little.
Oh, so cute. What a great picture.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and then I'm like the only person in where's it called, in Santa Monica, who's I look way out of place with that little dog in Santa Monica.
Oh, do you live in Santa Monica?
I was living there for 2 years, and
Oh,
it was
wow.
such beautiful. That was at the Santa Monica Airport Dog Park.
Oh, I know that. I used to live near that airport. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, "What's that sound?" And I'm like, "There's an airport here, you dummy." I'm like, geez, I was having a conversation. Someone's like, you hear the airplanes like, oh my God, are they doing an emergency landing or what's happening here? This
I
is
know, it's pretty freaky. And they had two separate parks there, one for big dogs and one for small dogs, right?
yeah, but sometimes like I look like I'm not there to be with a dog. I'm there to steal like one of those like $5,000 like Frenchies or something. Like
Oh my
I
God.
see how people look at me pulling up in my Prius. Like we knew all that. You didn't buy that. No Mexican would buy that. Anyway, but it's not. Prius was my favorite car. It got totaled last year. But other than
Oh
that,
no.
yeah, I got injuries because of it too. So that
Oh
also sucked.
shit. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
thank you. And my dog, Lady, was in the car, the one in the pink. She was in the car too. And I told the Tesla driver, and dude, if something would have happened to my dog, you would not be breathing right now.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Like
God.
seriously, like it was that
Oh,
close.
I'm so glad she's okay.
Oh,
Yeah, she's great. She bounced back like nothing. I had to go to the
Good.
emergency room, get lawyers. It was horrible. You know,
Oh God.
she didn't have
Yeah.
to deal with all that. She's cool.
so Kathy,
Yes.
I just want you to know you just cost me $200
Because I said that.
because Victor and I had a bet where we're like, who's gonna get Kathy the curse first?
Oh, yeah. I don't normally do that.
And he
Oh,
won.
wow.
So by the
Well,
way, I was not probing that at all. I was like 100%.
no, I mean, if you talk about a dog being in a car accident, I am gonna say shit.
Oh, I won that one. We're even.
She was still talking to me. She was still talking to me. Oh my.
Wow, no. Hey, I also wanted to ask you, and like this is also actually seriously a serious subject, but
Okay.
I was listening to a couple other interviews you did because I try really hard not to ask the same questions because
Okay.
I think that that's repetitive and kind of hacky in a way.
Mhm.
But I feel that this is a very big important subject. Is I wanted to ask you about the anorexia thing and how
Right.
like because a lot of people do suffer from that. And
Yes.
so I wanted to ask you, like, what's your advice on that?
Well, I mean, it's why I'm doing the show that I'm doing, and that I mean, it's kind of hard to encapsulate it so quickly, but I would say the most important thing is to talk about it.
Yeah.
To talk about it and to find people that share with you on it, and that you're not alone. You're not alone. There are people who suffer from it. It's a very difficult disease. I mean, it can kill you. It's a very serious disease. And you should be open about it. Not don't go into hiding with it.
Do you think that there's many different and I'm very sorry because I'm very uneducated about it, but
That's okay.
do you think that there's different types of it, like cancer or something like that, where
No, no, I mean anorexia, I mean there's anorexia, it's related to bulimia, but it's not the same disease as bulimia.
right?
But anorexia is a disease of starvation and restriction,
Mm,
where you just don't want to take in food.
yeah,
You're deathly afraid of gaining weight.
yeah,
And some people starve themselves to death.
yeah,
Yeah, and I, it's funny and it's not funny, but I walk through town and I can see people who are suffering from it. I mean, I can see, and they're usually race walking or, doing some obsessive form of exercise and not really realizing what they look like and how far down the scale they've gone. So it's a problem, and it's also sadly kind of secretly condoned by our society because thinness is so revered and so worshipped
yeah,
that uh, we don't as a society encourage people to be healthy. We encourage people to be thin.
yeah, yeah.
So I would say the most important thing is to talk about it and to not be secretive about it,
Oh, well,
because you'd be surprised how many people will share your feelings about it.
yeah. Well, thanks for bringing that up because it's actually a very serious subject. I know this is a comedy podcast, but I feel that we all have stuff, and I feel there's people that also, even listeners who might suffer from this, that
Mhm.
just don't know how to get help and don't know, they
Well,
might not,
people, like I would, if anybody gets in touch with you people about it from listening to this, drive them to my website and they can always email me through my website.
Oh, can you share the website real fast?
Yeah, it's my name. It's CathyLadman.com, Cathy with a C, www.CathyLadman.com.
Awesome. And now I want to respect your time, but I do have two more quick questions.
Yes,
Can we ball fire this? All right.
yes.
All right. So one, if you could go into a time machine and talk to a younger version of yourself, and it could be
Hmm.
from yesterday, last week when you were a kid, whatever, back at camp, what would you tell yourself that you know now?
You're good enough.
Yeah.
You're enough. You're enough as you are.
Uh, I like that answer. That's a great answer. I'm so glad you didn't say, Cathy, this is me from 2024. Hey, if this kid named Keith Reza asks you to do his podcast, say no. And then my last question for you is first, where can the folks at home follow and support you?
Oh, Cathy, Facebook, Cathy Ladman, Instagram, Cathy Ladman 1. And then my website, CathyLadman.com. It's a lot of Cathy Ladmans, all the Cathy Ladmans.
And then my last question for you is, what would you say as a comic that you've been doing it for so long that you find is still your weakness in comedy?
Currently, and it didn't used to be my weakness, but currently I'm having a hard time finding time to write new material because I'm doing so many other things. Back when I started, I was only doing stand-up and only writing stand-up, and that was my life. But now my life is diversified. So I would say that that's my biggest weakness.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta make that a strongness. So every day before you go to bed, when you turn off your phone on, in case your daughters call or
Yes,
whatever,
right.
right? Just write something.
Write something. Write
And that,
something.
even if
Keith told me to write something.
that's new material. You can make
All
that
right.
great. Yeah.
Keith's making me do this. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like, I should have said no to his podcast.
Okay.
Kathy, thank you
No, I
so
shouldn't.
much.
Oh, it was so nice. Thank you
uh,
so much. It was a great time with you guys. I
yeah.
really appreciate it.
And I'm a huge fan of yours. And oh my God, like, thank you so much. Like,
Absolutely. It was great. And I hope that I run into you guys again.
oh yeah, I can't wait to do that theater gig. It's gonna be great.
I know. I'll let you know when that is.
Oh, cool. Awesome. All right, Kathy, have a great day.
Bye. Have a great day. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, that was the interview. Subscribe, and she's gone. Subscribe, rate, and review, and tell a friend. And we will see you guys next week on Reza Riffs.
You're listening to Reza Riffs with Keith Reza and Alan Lee, right here on LA Talk Radio.